It's just a laid back vibe, baby. Straight up. It's just a laid back vibe, baby. Straight up. It's just a laid back vibe, baby. Straight up.
Well, good morning everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be having a look at the new Royal Enfield Bear. Now, I know everybody's done this on YouTube, it's old hat now, but it's still a relatively new bike to the market. I brought my Continental GT down and we'll just compare the two and see what changes they've made to the frame and what have you. I would say that this bike, I think what Royal Enfield's done is, in the design of this bike, I think they've taken a leaf out of Harley Davidson's book and they've basically looked at what people are building out on the streets and decided to build one themselves. So let's have a little look and we'll have a look at the difference. Frame, we'll start with the frame. Let's have a look at my GT. Now there's the frame on my GT. Now I've heard that they've on the Bear that all the frame's been regusseted to make it stronger, so we'll have a look at the headstock on the GT to compare it. Now what they have done is the rear seat hoop, or the rear of the frame, they've kinked it up. They've kinked it up on the Bear, so you've got your standard. The frame rail comes along. Yeah, the gasketing's exactly the same here on the shock mounts as well. Even to the point that you've got your little standard grab rail mounts, which are the same. But what they have done, this runs straight. That one's been kinked up, look. So there you go. So what we'll do is we'll get this thing out on the road, have a little chat about it, pull over, poke it with some sticks, and see what we got. Right then, well, here we go. Let's see what this Bear's all about. The Bearer. Right, switch on. Nice TFT. I think that's off the. I think that's the same TFT they put on the Hemi. It's got a nice little chrome surround on it. You've got all your gubbins on there. I think it's got Google Maps. It works off your phone and bits and bobs. So there's obviously an interface to your phone. So yeah, quite trick that one. Let's start it up. Got the Enfield, the new style, what I call turny buttons. Obviously lights, main, and then your pass. So it's quite, you can see it in the window. You've got LED lights on the front and rear. The indicators, you can see it coming up. That's the same. You can tell it's the Hemi TFT because that indicator. When I rode the 450 Himalayan, I was moaning, well not moaning, but that's not really big, and it can tend to leave your indicator on if you're not careful, because that arrow's not the biggest. There's your toggle switch under there, look, to get into there's your trip comes up, and then that'll get into your TFT. I ain't going to go through all that because everybody go to sleep when they. So it's been done on numerous vlogs on this bike, no doubt, and also on the Himalayan. Horn button, and then hazards. What's your hazard lights? Right, first off, I'd say the throttle's not as responsive as on the GT. Like I say, that GT's probably running. My GT's running about 55 brake, I reckon, if not maybe a little bit more. And that is with the 2-into-1 tech pipe, which gives you more torque, more mid-range, and DNA filter, and we've also got the fuel pack on there. So the Powerex fuel pack, or Fuelex they call it, makes a world of difference. That bike flies, and like I say, it's put more fuel going through it. This thing is probably running on fresh air because it's Euro 5, but they do what they can to given the the parameters they've got to work with to get them through these Euro 5 things. But anyway, what's that? We got a button on the front here. I think that's your select button when you go through your modes. So anyway, let's get going. Let's get and ride it. That's what matters. Gearbox is lovely. Snicks into first. You don't even get a clunk. There's the police. Not after me, are they? And we're away. Yeah, footrest position's lovely. Proper scramble style. Your feet are pulled back a bit, and I like that more so than on the Interceptor. I think they're tucked under you a little bit more. We'll soon find out when we do the standing up test on it what they're like for trails and stuff. But the bars are quite wide. Obviously you've got a brace bar, which I think you could buy that in the Enfield parts catalogue. Yeah, so 30 mile an hour. We're at 30 mile an hour in 4th. Let's sneak it into 5th. So that thing now, I'm not lugging the engine either. So whether it's geared the same as the Interceptor, it's definitely not geared the same as the Continental. So obviously different sprocket sizes, I'd have thought. But 30 mile an hour, and we're in 5th, and I'm not lugging the engine. I'm bearing in mind this is a new bike, so I don't want to overstress it. It's running, but you only have to move that throttle a millimetre, and it's pulling. You can feel the torque coming through in 5th gear at 30 mile an hour. So that's lovely. That really is lovely. My initial impressions is this is the bike. I'd have one of these over the Interceptor, definitely. And it's bigger stature. I know it's the same frame, but it's higher. We'll go through all that a bit later on. But yeah, that's annoying me with the gear shift. I've got me normal dirt bike boots on, and my toe, or the inside of the boot, is hitting the steel gear shaft where it's cranked out at an angle, as well as the little rubber stub on the end. So the stub, to my mind, needs to be a little bit longer, because I'm almost feels as though you're angling your foot in to change gear, and when you do that, you're hitting the steel gear lever bracket, if that's the word. Annoying, that is. I think that would probably end up wearing a hole in my boot eventually. Anyway, yeah, okay, so 4th gear, this is a hill now. We're doing 30 mile an hour in 4th. So 4th gear, that'll accelerate up a reasonably steep hill. No issue whatsoever. Right, now we can give it some beans. Let's just... Yeah, smooth as butter. 5th, 50 mile an hour. 60 mile an hour. Slow it down a bit. Well, I think what we'll do is we get this on the trail, or the road. This is a public road, and we'll see how it copes with a bit of dirt, a bit of ridgeway. Right, okay. Suspension's quite hard. Like I say, you've got the telescopic forks in the front, upside downers. Right, we're standing out. Yeah, those handlebars are too low. It's definitely too low. You need risers on them. Right, can I change No, I can't change gear stood up on this either. Like I say, the gear change is a bit awkward for me, and I haven't got massive feet. The suspension's coping with it okay. But there's no way you could, well, I couldn't ride this thing on the trail stood up like this. I'm aching already, look. It's not been designed for that, for this. Thank you. We go right on this one. It's all starting to dry out. Oh, loads of torque though. So yeah, if you were going to use this on the trails or wanted to do some light trail work, I think you'd need to have a think about bolting some bits and pieces on it, changing it, like I say, risers with a different gear lever. Anyway, back down in the seat. So you're better off in the seat. When you're sat in the seat, it's fine. And it wants to go, believe you me. What am I in second? So yeah, second gear. I think what we'll do, we'll pull over on this. And we'll just have a look at it. This is where I pulled the Vosges over when I did the review on the Vosges 525. So let's get it over through some. Right. Okay, there we go. So we'll have a proper look at this now. Have a proper chat about it. Well, here we are. We're up on the Ridgeway, or just off the Ridgeway, with the new or newish Royal Enfield Bear. Here it is in all its glory. So let's do a quick. Let's have a quick once over with it. We've got on the front end. You've got some Showa upside down 43mm upside down forks. They're non-adjustable. On the rears, you've got Showas that are adjustable for preload, so nothing to write home about, but it's going to do the job. Tyres on here are MRFs. Now, riding up here, those tyres were fine. They're lovely tyres. How they'd actually work in the mud and stuff, I don't know. I think they're a bit more there for looks, aren't they? Like I say, this bike's going to need a little bit of work doing to it to get it set up for proper sort of trails, I think. But yeah, there we go. So the tyres, front tyres are MRFs, and they are 190/19 on the front. It's got like it's still got that little brand new little. Is it scrubbed in here? I'll get those all nicely scrubbed in by the time I've finished this review. And on the rear, you've got a 140/80/17. Now, I wouldn't want to have to try and take that off the rim if I got a flatty on it. But again, like I say, the tread pattern's quite chunky. As I said earlier, you've got this 2-into-1 system that's supposed to give the bike more torque. And it's an improvement over the tech system, I think, because you've got this, obviously, this left-hand header. I ain't going to touch it. I almost touched it then. I burned my finger off. Left-hand header's got more of a bend in it, a bit longer, and your lambda sensor's farther away from the head, where the tech is a right angle straight out of the head. But the tech pipes work. Like I say, I've got that on my GT. So what else we got? The frame's an Interceptor frame. We've already been over that. Interceptor frame. They have kinked the rear frame loop up at an angle, but we've been over that. Lights are LEDs. Let's switch it on with the turny buttons. These housings are aluminium. They're lovely. They're, like I say, they remind me of with the Meteor. I rode the 650 Meteor, Super Meteor, and they remind me of the old Honda quality with the old style aluminium housings. But there's your headlight. Quite a pretty headlight. Let's put the hazards on. That'll be there then. So we'll have a look at what the indicators look like. There you go. LED rear light, and there's your indicators. So yeah, like I said, the engine on these are peaches. This engine platform, I love the 650 engine. It's brilliant. It's an absolute gorgeous engine, and like I say, you can, as I said on one of my previous vlogs, when I reviewed the shotgun, that engine is a 647cc. Now, there's a company called S&S that, let's turn this off a minute. There's a company called S&S that for years and years have been making high quality performance parts for Harley Davidsons, big bore kits, blah blah blah, and they make their own engines. They make an X-wedge engine that goes on the front of the Morgan 3-wheel cars. But S&S, like I say, quality company, and they make, I think, an 865 kit for this engine. Now this is 647cc. They make an 865 kit for it, and they're quite happy to do that with their reputation, knowing that the engine's not going to explode. So that engine is over-engineered. So in its 650cc or 647cc, guys, that will go on forever. It's under stressed. You can service it yourself. It's got the screw and lock nut type valve adjusters, and it is absolute delight. So even though it's not that big, you know, it's not by today's standards. I mean, Triumphs are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That engine is lovely, and I think I'd have that over a Triumph. I really would. So anyway, I've still got the indicators going. So there we have it. Oh, I'll tell you what they have done, look. They put the rectifier regulator at the front, where it should be. On the Interceptors and the Continentals, they tucked it up behind the engine. Which wasn't the best place to put something that needs to be cooled. So they've now modified that, and you'll probably be able to get the wiring loom to modify your standard Interceptor, your old Interceptor and my Continental GT. Oh, I'll have to look into that. Seat height is 830 mil, so that's going to, it might be a little bit high for a lot of people. But this is what I was on about, the gear lever, where it's cranked out. My boot was hitting this here, as well as this. This is a bit cheap, isn't it? This needs to be modified. That bend there is annoying. So you can see where your boot comes along. You can see. Let's show you. So my boot's on there. Look. See what's going on? It's hitting my boot, unless I angle. But then when you angle your foot out, you don't feel as though you're changing gear precisely. So that's the only bugbear with it at the moment, is that, it's annoying. Price on this thing is £6,749 on the road. Morning. Oh yeah, some nice GGs there, look. This is what you've got to be very mindful of when you're on the Ridgeway. This is where you take it nice and steady. You don't go at silly speeds, because there's always GGs about. And they just come from that way. Right then, let's get back on the bike and have some fun. Beautiful looking thing though, isn't it? I'm not well, I wasn't too sure about the green frame, but that's growing on me now. So Right, let's go and have some fun. Should we have a little look up there first? I know there's some ruts up there. Let's just go and have a little quick look, see where that goes, and we can come back down. I'm going to get in a load of ruts now, and I'm going to get it turned around. It's perfectly capable of doing stuff like this. Like I say, you just got to right. I ain't going to go any farther. You've just got to get that gear shift and some handlebar risers on there, I reckon. So when you stand up, which you've got to do. That's a point. Has it got a sump guard on it? No, they haven't got a sump guard on this, which is strange. I suppose you have to buy that as an extra. But there's plenty of ground clearance on it, or seems to be. Right, don't fall off of it, Dickie. See how it copes with these big holes. Yeah, that suspension copes with it, no problem. Thank you. That suspension copes with it, no problem. Right, let's just make sure I'm still filming. I've got some comms. Hello, testing. Yep. Right then, let's get it on the windies. What it was designed for, I think. Yeah, you notice the torque. The torque is, I think there's a bit more torque on it than the Interceptor. So that's that 2-into-1 doing its magic, working its magic. So, oh yeah, you can sling this thing round all over the place. I need to get this bloody van out of the way, don't I? Come on, Mr. Van, clear off. Right then, we'll hang her right here. This road's stunning, and we'll be able to get a lick of speed on up this road. Oh, 20, still in the 20. We're in second. We're throttle up. 5,000 revs. 5,000 revs. 5,000 revs. 60. There you go, 62 mile an hour. 5,000 revs, you're going to be over the speed limit in top. So, right. Put my visor down, hope you can hear me. 6 gear, let's see what it will do. 5,000 revs in 6 miles an hour. We're on a lovely road now, so we'll give it some beans and try not to fall off of it. Right, what's going on here? Slow it down a little bit. Right, we're okay, here we go. Tips in fine. Plenty fast enough. It's so agile. I mean, look at the way this thing's just slipping into the bends. Right, Ashbourne House on our right. Behind them trees. Pete Townsend has got a long-term lease on that. You can't actually own it because I think it's listed. He's got a long-term lease on that, so that's one of his houses basically. There it is. What a lovely motorcycle. Pure fun. Do you know, I quite happily, I quite happily get rid of one of my eyes for one of these. It's a problem when you get the chance to ride all these different bikes. Like that Hayabusa I took out last one. You want one. After you've ridden one, you want one. It's a tease, really. Yeah, it's a hawk. No, it's a buzzard. That was a buzzard. You can have some fun on this, guys. All you sports bikes riders out there, you can have some fun on these things. Right, down to 35, 34 mile an hour. The brakes on this, the brakes on this are brilliant. Perfectly adequate. Anyway, we're in the valley of the racehorses now, so there's the stables and stuff. So take it steady, 40 mile an hour while I'm doing 30. What's the time? 10 to 12, there's some horses. I'll be taking it very steady through Lamhall. I've been thinking that there's so many different languages. This country of ours, England's changed so much now. There's so many different languages being spoken. I'm going to go back to default and I'm going to learn Old English. I'm going to start learning Old English. And this would be Osweald Bearer. Osweald Bearer on Hulte in the woods. We'll do a bit more Old English in a minute. Right, we've got the River Lambourne to our left now. Look at that, the daffodils are gorgeous. And there is the old Gigi's are going along there, look. Cooling the feet is down. Now there's a ford here. Should I take this bike through the ford? Should I do that? I don't know. Don't know how deep it is. But it's not my bike, is it? Hello. Hey, got some friends that's come to see me. Hello. Well, they got some bridle tack there. But yeah, what we've got here is the Bear 650 in its natural habitat. Osweald Bearer in its natural habitat. Look at those nosy horses, look. Inquisitive things, isn't they? Evne. Bearer. Say Bearer and Dicky es on Ingolanda. So there you go. Oswald, the Bearer, or Osweald, the Bearer. And I ain't going to take it through there. I've chickened out on the ford, guys. I'm sorry, but I ain't going to go through there just in case I drop it, goes underwater, and then I'll be in trouble, won't I? What do I think of it so far? I love it. I really do love it. I reckon I'd sell one of my Arliss to get that. I really do. To buy one, I'd quite happily get rid of one of my Arliss for this thing. It's lovely. Hell of a lot of fun. But I didn't mention, did I, that Bear was a desert race in the States back in the 60s, I think. And there was a guy that rode for Royal Enfield. And he won a few races. They had a lot of desert races, sort of stuff Steve McQueen and all that would ride in. And all the BSAs, and there were BSAs and Triumphs, and they're all stripped down road bikes with suspension and reinforced frames. So anyway, that's why they called it the Bear, because there was this desert race in the States called the Bear. There you go. Let's get this thing back on the road, head back towards Swindon. Testing, I got comms. That's the worst thing, you do all this and then you realise you've been talking to yourself because comms don't work. Flick of the twirly button. Going back to the Old English, The Adventures of Osweald by Colin Gorry. He's an American chap, he's a linguist, and I'll put a link to the book. He's got some really interesting YouTube videos up where he teaches the stages bit by bit Old English, the Old English language. And I do believe some of the Old English language could be understood by the Danes as well. So when you go right back in history to the 800s, they could have sort of a conversation in Old English and Danish and understand each other. So it's all interlinked. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to motorbikes. Let's get this thing out of this shale pile of gravel and get back on the road. Right, let's see how it gets up here. Goes up here in all this mud. Yeah, easy. Off we go. Look at that for a view, look. Wow. Look at that. That's probably that's Oxfordshire over there. And Wiltshire, we can see Wiltshire. 2 counties. Do you know what? If you haven't ridden one of these, you need to get a go on one. Whether you're a sports bike fan or whatever, you need to get a go on one of these. And like I said earlier, the price, I think they're 6,400 or something like that, or 6,700, 6,749, I think. Great value, good quality motorbike. So anyway, we're on a home run in now to Bike Treads. So as always, I'd like to thank you for watching. Thanks for watching the channel. If you can subscribe, it'd be brilliant. Try and grow the channel a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all on the next one.
It's just a laid back vibe, baby.